You cannot live like that. You cannot live on people's terms. I love being a Christian. I love knowing God. I love walking intimately with Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And I was just like, God, thank you. Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel if you are a returning subscriber, and welcome to my channel if you are here for the first time. My name is Ruth Muntali. I'm a Zambian based YouTuber and my content is for all young people. My vision is to see you thrive in every era of your life. So if you're a young person, come on, join the family. We talk everything that affects young people, and I mean everything. All right, so today I'm doing another reaction video because honestly guys, I'm busy. I have a lot going on, and yeah, it took a lot for me to shoot this video today, but I love you. I'm committed to you. And so yeah, I'm doing a reaction video to a lady that I love. Her name is Courtney Daniela Boateng. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, so I'm doing a reaction video. She did a video on 5 decisions that will help you build the life you want. So that's what we're talking about real quick. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Point number 1, decision number 1 is therapy, right? So I'm reacting to this video, guys. I personally have not been to therapy. Do I want to go? Yes. I think in the past 5 years or so, I feel like I went through things that warrant me having therapy. However, therapy can be expensive, right? And I think the whole mental health community is only beginning to grow in Africa. Before then, it wasn't so big, like why are you discussing your problems with people or stuff like that. But I do agree with it. So she shares how therapy changed her life. She went for therapy in 2020, and you know, she just found herself really crying and stuff like that. And I think we all carry a level of trauma, right? I was talking to my parents one time and I was telling them that I'm grateful that they haven't given me parental trauma to heal from. And I know that's not everybody's story, right? But I have other things in my upbringing that could have traumatized me, right? It may have nothing to do with my parents, but it may have to do with maybe certain things that I had to grow up around, or certain circumstances I had to grow up around that could have affected me. And then, you know, growing up, went to Ukraine, I had a whole lot of experiences for me that weren't therapy. So it is something I would like to do, and I would like to share with you that if you do have the means to do it, please do it. This is not a sponsored video, but I see so many people talking about BetterHelp, right? And I think the reason why it is so convenient is because you have a lot of therapists. So like for me, I would like to have a therapist that is faith-based, faith inclined, because I would like you to understand where I'm coming from. So if you're just coming from like a point of psychology, you may not fully get me, right? So I would like that. So if you have the means, guys, to go to therapy, please do. But if you don't, like me, then please start having like critical thinking, critical analyzing of things you've been through and how they've affected you, right? Please, please, please do that. I shared in This Is 31 that you know, you are not your upbringing. So I was trying to share with you, in my upbringing, there are many things I would have wanted. I had faced lack sometimes, and I realized that it impacted me a certain way as an adult. So there are certain things I have to heal from as regards to lack, as regards to money. Do you understand? There's a whole lot of that. So yeah, if you cannot afford therapy right now, like I don't have access to it yet, but when I do, I will do it. But in the absence of that, I would like you to start having like therapeutical conversations, if you will, or start addressing certain things, like certain things you realize, okay, I'm traumatized in this and this way. Start addressing them, start having those conversations, start reading books or looking at things. There are therapists and psychologists on YouTube and everywhere. Start looking at the things that you are dealing with. For example, let's say maybe you had a parent that abandoned you or something. There's information about all these things on social media. Please begin to give yourself to those things. So yeah, the first thing that will change your life, and I'm yet to experience it, is therapy. The second decision that will change your life, according to Courtney, is confrontations and boundaries. And I absolutely agree with it. If you've watched me long enough, you know that in the past I hated confrontation. I literally hated it, guys. Like, I'm not having it. If we can get over whatever we're having without a difficult conversation, then yes. Then boundaries has to do a lot with people pleasing. Personally, I haven't really struggled with people pleasing. I'm very strong-willed, so I don't struggle with people pleasing, including my parents. I'm not trying to please them, okay? So we have a healthy relationship where I can tell them, Mom and Dad, I'm not ready to do this right now, and I won't do it just because they want me to do it. And I'm really grateful for who they are, because we're able to have those conversations, right? Yeah. So I personally haven't struggled with boundaries, but I've struggled with confrontation, and I worked on it, guys. Like, have those difficult conversations, right? Be it with friends, be it with family. Please have those. They're going to change your life. And if you struggle with boundaries, please work on it, because it really affects you, right? Be able to say no. I'm able to say no. I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, and she was sharing with me how she's having a hard time saying no to people, and it's draining her. I'm like, how? I couldn't relate, but I realized it's because it's not my struggle. But people really do struggle with people pleasing or feeling bad that they couldn't be there for people. Please, by all means, learn when to say no. And if these friends of yours can't handle you saying no, like maybe you can't go somewhere or you can't be with a certain person, let's have that difficult conversation, because you cannot live like that. You cannot live on people's terms, right? You cannot do things just because people want you to do them. So please, let's try and grow in this regard. It's going to help you, because at the end of the day, you're the person that's miserable for going to a place you did not have the energy to go to, or giving out resources you needed yourself, just because you don't want people to be disappointed in you, right? So yeah, let's work on confrontations and boundaries. If people are hurting you, they're crossing the line with you, have that difficult conversation with them and tell them, I do not appreciate being talked to this way. And then put the right boundaries. If somebody is asking you to escort them somewhere and you can't, please be able to say no, right? So yeah, confrontations and boundaries are really going to change your life. Let's look at decision number 3, which is asking for help. I happen to be on the other extreme, right? I ask for a lot of help. I think now I've become a little bit independent. So again, I couldn't quite relate, right? For me, I always ask for help. If I can't do something, it's very easy for me to ask for help. So I personally had to grow in a little bit of independence. That's where my growth had to come in. But for people who struggle with asking for help, she said something that really struck me. She said sometimes strength is not a virtue, it's a coping mechanism, right? So if you've been through stuff that had to make you very independent and very strong, this goes both to the male and females, you end up really just depending on yourself in a very unhealthy way, to a point you even take it to God, right? I want to share this with you guys. So I had a test, right? And the whole weekend I had this very terrible headache, so I couldn't prepare for the test, right? I tried, but I couldn't. And I told God, God, please, I need help. Please just move this test for me. I need help. Help me, right? And that morning I woke up, I tried to study for like 2 hours, but I knew it wasn't enough. And I just saw a notification in my group saying the class has been postponed to tomorrow. And I was just like, God, thank you. Thank you. Okay? And I made sure I was prepared the next day. So yeah, learn to ask for help if you struggle with it. Back to what we talked about with maybe you grew up in a certain condition or circumstance that had to bring strength out of you. There's a quote that says sometimes you don't know how strong you are until strength is the only option. But you sometimes come out of that era which demanded so much strength, but you're already so used to the strength that you do not know how to ask for help. Guys, let's learn to ask for help. From God, from family, from friends, community, whatever. Please ask for help. Don't be too strong to a point that is toxic for you. Ask for help where need be. And you need to be in communities and friendships where people are willing to help you, where you're willing to ask for help and people are willing to help you, right? So I hope you do have those kind of friendships where you can. Please don't be unnecessarily strong in a way that is not even cute anymore. It's not even inspiring. You're just draining yourself. Please do ask for help. Remember, sometimes strength is not a virtue. It is only a coping mechanism. Number 4, the fourth decision she made is to dress for the body I have now. I can relate, guys. The number of things I've bought to say I'm gonna wear when I become a size 12 or a size 10, no. So I'm gonna address this into two things. Dress for the body type you have. Please do the research to understand the type of body you have, so you dress in a way that flatters you. It's not every trend that is gonna look good on you. Like, I'm not even for crop tops. I'm not a crop top person. Like, if I do wear a crop top, I'm wearing a high-waisted thing. So I'm not for the idea of showing your belly. But there's now those that your belly shouldn't even be seen. I know some of you now come out for me and say you're body shame, but really, guys, dress things that flatter you. Let it flatter you at least. Please don't wear things that are unflattering and then you're gonna come and give us my body, my choice. No, it doesn't look good. You're not as confident. Have you seen those people who dress in a certain way and then you're pulling your clothes the whole time? Why did you wear it in the first place, right? So I agree with wearing things that flatter your body. Do the research. Number one, that actually flatter your body type. I'm not saying if you're maybe plus size and wear big things. No, I've seen the person who I'm reacting to is a plus size and she dresses so well. Like, I love the clothes she wears. And I've seen another lady on YouTube who's plus size. She looks good, right? So it's not about wearing over baggy things. No, just wear things that actually flatter your body. And then if you are in a fitness journey like me, dress for where your body is now. Stop buying, like, maybe you're a size 12, then you start buying size 8 things and stacking them, and you're not just enjoying the process of where you are. When we get to size 8, we're going to wear size 8, but in the meantime, please wear things that flatter your body. So find out. I love high-waisted things, but when my belly became very big, I had to tone it down, and while I'm working on it, I'll be back. But in the meantime, what's the point of me wearing this really high-waisted thing and then there's a pooch which makes me very uncomfortable? Do you get what I mean? Like, yeah, so I agree with that. Dress in a way that flatters your body. Dress for the body you have now. The last decision she made was finding my faith, right? And she talks about how finding her walk with God just made every other area of her life thrive. And that's me, guys. I'm a Jesus girl. I love God. And the anchor of my life, honestly, is knowing God. I mean, look, I just shared with you, I had a test that I wasn't ready for because I wasn't well the whole weekend. And I could depend on God and said, Daddy, please help me. Just change this test to tomorrow. And the lecturer just changed the test. That's my anchor. Having a relationship with God and having a personal walk with God has changed my life in many ways that I can't even begin to explain, right? Like, I try to imagine how would I do life without God. So having just personal faith, I know I grew up as a pastor's kid, but I had to get to a point where I had to know God for myself, like beyond what my parents had taught me, or because this is the life they passed on to me. I appreciate it, and that's why for me, faith is such a big deal. Even when it comes to finding a life partner, I've had conversations with people where they're like, oh no, but you know, we click and whatever, and I'm like, no, the legacy of faith that my parents gave me is the same legacy I want to give my kids, because it's changed my life. And so for me, it's so important. It's not out of a place of religion or whatever. I love being a Christian. I love knowing God. I love walking intimately with Jesus and the Holy Spirit. It means the word to me, and I've seen how it's carried me. I was talking to my brother yesterday, and I was telling him that that's a video for another day when I'm going to talk about mental health or going through a very difficult season. I sat down and I said, God carried me, right? I don't know if you remember, there's one story about footprints, an article or a little story where in the beginning the person could see the footprints of God and their footprints, and then at a point in their life, a hard point, they felt like God left them because they only saw one set of footprints, and God said, no, in that period, those footprints you can see are mine because I was carrying you. That was me at the beginning of last year, 2022, January to July. God carried me. That was a very difficult season of my life, and I'll be able to share that with you. And I'm just wondering, how would I have made it without God, right? So for me, finding your faith, personal walk with God is so important. I believe it really affects your life. So yeah, guys, those are the 5 decisions Courtney shared that changed her life, and this was my reaction to them. I hope they help you one way or the other. I'm about to enter exam season, so I'm gonna go missing for a month with like the long videos, but I'm gonna be posting shorts, right? But please do stay tuned. Get us the subscribers. I'm hoping to get to the 1,000 count by June, which is amazing because I won't be here. But let's see. But yeah, Please, thanks for your support. I may still come, but I'm just sharing that I most likely will not be here, right? So thank you guys for watching today's video, and thank you for your support. Really love you, really appreciate you. I hope these 5 decisions are something you implement and that it will change your life. Thank you, and see you in my next video.